Good afternoon and welcome to Strode's Open Evening. My name is Amanda Down and I'm the Principal for the Sixth Form Provision at Windsor Forest Colleges Group. It's a very unusual evening and we were hoping to welcome you into Strode College for a live event. But unfortunately, we are still in a COVID restricted world, so welcome to our virtual opening. This evening, you're hearing from myself and two of our students who are joining me this evening. So I have with me this evening Karen Louise Croft and Lucy Allison Valois, who you'll be hearing from later. There'll also be an opportunity for you to hear from our Director of Missions and from some of our heads of department who will be able to offer you some guidance and help on subject choices. Strode is a small to medium sixth form college, but a fantastic choice for any student who is looking to take that next step into post-16 education. We are a specialist advisor, and as such, we know exactly what it takes to help our students to be successful. We offer A Levels and Level 3 BTECs, and a small program of Level 2 courses as well. We have specialist facilities, we have specialist support to help students with a holistic approach to post-16 education. We are incredibly proud of our ongoing successes, and no more so than of our most recent validation from Ofsted in December 2019. Absolutely delighted with the outcomes of Ofsted inspection, as it supported all of the efforts that staff and students have been making together. We continue to focus on every individual to ensure that their journey with us is one that is successful and positive. And this has been reflected in all aspects of the college provision and indeed in the reflections and judgments from our Ofsted inspection. Our strengths lie in our staff and their expertise and in their bold and ambitious determination to do the best that they can for our students. Most importantly, the inspection reflected that what our senior team have done and our staff, our students and our governors is to continue to push success and excellence. Our exam results this summer speak of fantastic results achieved. 99.8% pass rate in A levels and an outstanding 84.59% high grades. We're really pleased with that continued success of 100% pass rate for our BTEC level 3s as well. We continue to be really proud of everything that our students achieve, and in particular the associations that we have built with local universities and in particular our new TAS accreditation scheme for aspiring professional sportsmen and women. One of the key things about being at Strode's is the Aspire programme, which this year has successfully enabled many of our students to progress onto Ross Group universities and indeed to Oxford, Cambridge and for one student, Princeton. The Aspire programme is a bespoke programme that targets and helps support students who are looking to progress onto those very top universities. It is support for early application, for the interview process and the bespoke exams that form part of that. But beyond that, it is about widening participation and widening experience. So if you are interested in that, please do post some questions. Happy to answer those afterwards, or we provide more information on that. We are very proud of our students and of the amazing destinations that they go on to. On the screen in front of you are two of our amazing students from this year who are going on to amazing things. Nathan, who has flown across the world to join Princeton University, and Thomas, who has progressed on to the University of Oxford to study classics. But our students go on to a whole range of successful outcomes. So whether it's higher apprenticeships with Deloitte and Touche, whether it is training programmes with Sky, British Telecom, whether it is a further apprenticeship, whether it is university, further study, or indeed progressing out into the world of work, there is something here to enable every student to be successful. And one of the things that makes Strode unique is our ability to respond to every single student's needs. Should students prefer to stay closer to home, Then one of the unique selling points of the Windsor Forest Colleges Group are the wide range and growing range of level 4 courses on offer here at the college. At Windsor, we are really proud this year to introduce 2 new courses to our portfolio. So students for the first time are studying a level 4 qualification in creative media arts and in art and design. But you can see on the screen in front of you, there are a whole range of courses that we offer at level 4. We understand at Strode that grades are absolutely vitally important to everything that is important for students. But it is quite frankly the tip of the iceberg. It is everything else that is beneath that enables our students to achieve the grades that they do and to go on to be successful. And again, as a sixth form specialist provider, that's what we are uniquely placed to do. From our specialist team of subject staff to our specialist tutorial team and the support services that sit around. We are here to help every single student realise their dreams. The programme of study at sixth form looks slightly different to what you will be seeing at GCSE. I'm quite certain there will be courses that you are just desperate to get rid of. But at post-16, your course choices condense down to 3 courses from the majority of our students. So whether that is A Levels, BTEC, or a range of A Levels and BTECs on a mixed match programme. We are really proud of the fact that we have such a broad range of subjects to offer our students. 24 levels, 14 different level 3 BTECs, and a whole range of level 2 courses as well. So whether your passion is for classics, physics, sports science, graphic design, law, there is something here for everybody. Any student who is not successful in achieving a grade 4 or above in either GCSE, Maths or English will need to reset that. I promise you, it's not me being unkind, that is a government directive. So my advice to every single student out there is to do everything that you can to make sure that you achieve that grade 4 or above this year. So next summer, when you receive your results, it is not something you have to worry about. But if it is, please don't worry. We run GCSE classes. We are here to help you achieve success. For every course that you sit, you will have 4.5 hours of contact time in the classroom. But in addition to that, you will have an additional 4.5 hours of independent guided study to complete. At school, it is 90% teacher and 10% students. For those of you wishing to progress on to higher education and university, that flips. So it becomes 10% teacher and 90% students. Part of the journey, part of the challenge at post-16 is bridging that gap. It always strikes me as slightly odd that it's the shortest period of time you will be in any stage of education, and yet it is probably the most important. So it's really, really important that you think carefully about those next steps. So, on to the most important part, which is about students and students' choices. 5 or GCSEs at grade 4 or above qualifies you for an A-level programme of study. But please do check in our prospectus and our website and by contacting our admission department directly for individual guidance on the subjects and the specific entry criteria for each subject. 4 or more GCSEs at grade 4 or above qualifies you for one of our BTEC level 3 programmes of study. And if you're not successful in gaining those 4 GCSEs, then we would look at a level 2 programme as a foundation year from which you then hopefully progress onto one of our level 3 programmes of study. Curriculum continues to change. You will all be aware that A-levels are linear courses now. This means that all of your assessment is at the end of your second year. Please look very carefully at the individual details for courses to consider what is going to suit you best. Look at the percentage of coursework, if indeed there is any, and the number of exams involved. New level 3 BTEC courses have also got an examined unit as part of the assessment. No longer are BTECs fully 100% coursework. Some of those will be externally examined units where you sit as you do for a formal examination, some of those are controlled assignments. So time that will be spent researching and time that will be spent completing a project. Again, please look on the website, please find our prospectus for more details of that. The majority of students will study 3 main courses over the 2 years of their study. This is what most universities make their offer based on, and indeed what most students will need to progress successfully out into the wider world. We do, however, offer some additional courses that run alongside this. One of these is the extended project qualification, an opportunity for students to specialise and to research a topic that is of particular interest to them. This doesn't have to be anything to do with courses that you're studying, and may very well be something that will actually help to push you further into whichever course you are progressing onto. So whether your interest is in whether fish have feelings, or your passion is for upcycling, writing Gothic novels, or indeed any other aspect of the world out there, this is for you. It's a qualification that is worth an AS, half an A level, and carries the same UK points, and can be undertaken either your first or your second year. In addition to this, we have the Gold Arts Award. This is for students who are on an arts-based programme, who again might be looking to add something additional to their programme study to demonstrate additional skills. So, the most important questions. In choosing your courses, our advice is this, that you think very carefully about what it is that you want to do, but also not to worry too much if indeed the answer to that is, I just don't know at the moment. Most people don't, and I promise you that you can get to your 40 and still not know what you want to do. But if there is something specific you have in mind, think very carefully about whether there are particular subjects that you need to be taking in order to help you progress onto the chosen career pathway. Think about what you enjoy doing at school. Think about what you're good at. Where are your skills? What are you really enjoying? What are you really excelling at? Being passionate about something is half the key to being successful. It will motivate you, it will help to get you out of bed in the morning, particularly on a cold, dark, miserable January morning. So please do think very carefully about that. Think about which subjects work really well together. Think about crossover skills. Think about subjects that complement each other. Sometimes it's really sensible to keep a broad selection of subjects, but actually you need to be sure that the skills you are developing are complementary. Please don't do something because you think it's going to be an easy option. At post-16, there is always going to be a challenge. A levels, BTEC 3s are meant to be challenging. They are challenging you in preparation for the next stage. Please don't choose something because your best friend is doing it. Again, never really a good idea. And above all, seek advice and guidance wherever and from whomever you can. Talk to your teachers at school, talk to your mum and dad, talk to other people around you, to current students, to old siblings if you have those. Find out what it's really like to be a student here. To your core programme study, you will also be enrolled onto a tutorial. These are small groups to which students are allocated a personal tutor who will support them individually and monitor their progress throughout the course of their time with us. Students will receive one-to-one support and a holistic overview of how they are progressing with their courses. It's keeping a watch on attendance, it's keeping a watch on progress, but offering support, advice and guidance throughout that time. It will identify, help you to agree where study skills support may be needed, or where indeed you need to ask for extra help and support from your subject staff. In addition to that, we have a bespoke career advice team who will be here to offer you advice on your next steps. We have a learning support team who again are here to offer you individual support and guidance should you need it. Our expert advice is here, and we have a number of opportunities throughout the year to help students engage with the next steps. And importantly, as a post-16 provider, this again is one of the unique aspects of being a specialist provider. We are able to pull on our connections, our links, to offer students that advice and guidance for their next steps. Here, and I'm going to invite Lucy and Karen, if they are hopefully out there, to join me and tell you a little bit about what it's like to be a student here at Strode.
Karen, you're on mute if you don't mind unmuting.
Hello, I'm Karen, and I study A-level photography, A-level sociology and BTEC psychology, and I'm also on the College Student Union, which is a really great part of the college that helps encourage like democracy and getting students involved with the college and having their voices heard and what they think the college can do and how it can improve. I'm the diversity and welfare officer, so I focus on like the students from like different backgrounds and how their voices can be heard. And the college runs lots of clubs and societies, and I run the LGBTQ+ group, and it's just a really great environment to work at Strode, and I'd highly recommend it for anyone.
Thank you, Karen. Fiona, do we have Lucy with us?
I'm afraid she's not in the meeting. I think her link has taken her to be a delegate, but
okay.
She's messaging me to say that she's sorry, she would have liked to have spoken. Apologies.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sure you can appreciate it's really quite daunting to speak to a group of parents and prospective students, but even more daunting when that's by virtual means. So thank you, Karen, and well done for stepping up and speaking to everybody this afternoon. Our aim here at Strode is to support every single one of our students in creating their futures, in successfully progressing onto whatever pathway they may choose to, whether that's higher education, an apprenticeship, a trainee scheme, or the workplace. As part of this, we encourage our students to consider every aspect of their programme, to get involved and take every opportunity that is made available to them. So whether their passion is for sport, performance, or being a member of our student union team, we hope that there is an opportunity here for everybody. We encourage our students to undertake work experience, to be part of our volunteering team, and more than ever to be part of our local community. We value the fact here at Strode that we are a community college. We are very much in partnership with our local community, and we ask all our students to adhere to those values and to work together to be part of that community. We offer a huge range of trips and visits that are here to help our students expand their experiences that they will take with them into the wider world. Their results, their experiences help all of our students go on to be very successful young adults, and we're immensely proud of everything that they do. It's really important, as I've said, that you choose your courses carefully, and we've got a team of people here this evening to answer any specific questions you may have on those, but please do go onto our website and have a look at the information that is there. We do have guaranteed applicant status for a number of our key feeder schools. This means that we will prioritise your application and guarantee you an interview as soon as possible. Please don't worry if your school is not on this list. It doesn't mean that we are going to ignore you, and we will endeavour to make sure that every student is interviewed as soon as possible after their application comes into us. So what happens now? Hopefully you are really impressed and want to become part of the Strode community. We will then ask you to submit your application online, after which you will be invited for an interview. At the moment, we are conducting all of our interviews by virtual means and by telephone call until such times as we are safe to bring all students back onto site from schools visiting into us. Hopefully, after your interview, which you will have an opportunity to discuss your course choices, your progression pathways and other possible options, you will receive an offer from us. We hope that you will follow that up with an acceptance, at which point you will be invited to join us in June, July for an introduction day, an opportunity to come to site, to be part of the team and to try out what it is like to be a college student here at Strode for the day. Your results will come through in August, and after that you will be invited into an enrolment session, another opportunity for you to discuss your course choices and to make any changes should those be appropriate. I really hope that you will apply to Strode. We are uniquely placed to support every single student who we deal with. We are subject specialists, we are sixth form specialists. This is an amazing college to be part of, and I am immensely proud of my students and my staff. I hope that you have enjoyed this evening's presentation, and we are now open for any questions.
Thank you, Amanda. That was really, really helpful. Just to say, please pop your questions that you have for Amanda in the chat box, and we can, there's quite a few coming in and we're going to run through those. Just a reminder that at 5:45 we have a live event with our head of admissions, who is going to do a presentation on how to apply, and on our main website from now until 7 p.m. our heads of department are all ready and waiting to talk to you. If you have any subject specific questions, you just click on the little circle on the home page and they're there on hand to answer you. Okay, so just moving on to the questions that we're getting through at the moment. How long is each course at the college?
In terms of hours during the week, or?
Oh no, the period of time, the length of the programme.
So all courses are a 2-year programme. So students who are enrolled on level 3 programme study, it is for a 2-year period of time. So A Levels and level 3 BTECs are 2-year qualifications.
Okay, thank you. Just reading through our questions. Would you say we have any areas that we're particularly specialise in? What are our most popular courses?
Our most popular courses, well, it varies from year to year. I would say always, year in, year out, psychology is usually popular, sociology, law, business, economics, many of our sciences. Maths is always hugely popular. Not my most favourite subject, I have to say, from a personal point of view, but hugely popular. We are particularly, we've got a lot of interest in graphic communications at the moment. So it varies from year to year, but yes, across the piece, and of course all of our amazing, wonderful creative art subjects. So film studies, media, fine art is hugely popular. Drama, theatre studies and dance, again, hugely popular, and of course our sports courses as well. So I think I wouldn't necessarily single out a particular course as being more popular than another, and one of the benefits of this sixth form college is the hugely diverse range of subjects that we can offer.
Thank you, Amanda. So it's good all round, it sounds like.
Yes. I think our results speak themselves with, the pass rates, with the high grades. I think, I would say it's a good all-round provider.
How many, I'm sure you've just mentioned this earlier, but I think maybe as a reminder, how many A levels would you normally take as part of the programme?
Okay, so the majority of students will study 3 courses, so 3 A levels. That's standard. Universities will only ever make their offer based on 3 A levels. If a student has done an extended project qualification, apologies, or the Gold Dust Awards, that may sometimes be taken into account. If a student is arriving to us with more than half of their GCSEs at grade 7 or above, we will consider and we'll discuss with them the possibility of a A level, but we would always caution and say, think very carefully about why you're choosing to do 4. It's not going to impact any offer that you're made from the university. And actually, are you diluting the time and the effort you are going to be given? Because 3 A's is far more powerful than 4 C's or 4 B's.
Thank you, Amanda. Good news, Lucy has managed to join us, so I just wonder if it's an opportunity for her to tell us a little bit from her side. Lucy, if you could unmute yourself, we'll be able to hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you. Well done for getting in.
Sorry, I think there was with the links and things. But yeah, I'm Lucy and I'm student president at Strode as well as a student. And I really enjoy attending Strodes. Obviously joining, as most people are, I was really nervous, but I felt so welcomed by everyone. There's such a range of courses that you can do. Coming from a grammar school, personally, I was worried that it wouldn't be as academic, but I found that given the resources that we have, like the Learning Centre and other things, and with teacher support, I think I made a good choice coming here, and I feel as though I would have done worse if I'd stayed at my other school. So it's just overall a really nice environment to be in, and you can really get whatever you want out of it, whether that's something academic or something less so. But basically it caters to everyone, and everyone is so sweet and welcoming. So overall, I just feel as though it's a really great college to be part of.
That's fantastic. What are you studying, Lucy?
Oh, I study as A Levels, Modern History, Spanish and Psychology.
And what are you hoping to do next?
The plan is an undergrad degree in psychology or international relations, depending on which country I go to.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you doing that.
Thank you.
Back to our questions. Somebody's asked, a few people actually have asked about the dress code.
Okay, so unlike a lot of school sixth forms, as a sixth form college, we don't have a dress code. What we do, however, is for our students to be respectful and to remember that there are people who may be offended by what they are wearing. So we have, I guess, two basic rules. One is please don't wear anything that you wear to the beach. And secondly, to make sure that you are not wearing something that may cause offence to somebody else. So t-shirts with slogans on, clothing that may be deemed to be offensive to somebody else. But beyond that, we don't have a set uniform. One of the benefits of being a form college.
Thank you. Could you also explain how the combining A Levels and BTECs works?
Right, okay, yes. So a number of students used to do what we call a mix and match program, so combining A Levels and Level 3 BTECs. Sometimes because they have a particular subject that they are interested in. So the example I will give is dance, for example. So we offered the BTEC Level 3 extended certificate in performance dance. And some students will choose to do that alongside A-level drama, and I'm going to pick A-level English because I'm an English teacher, but I'm going to pick that. And that's in there. We offer the BTEC Extended Certificate in Health and Social Care. And again, that's the subjects that often students will combine with biology, A-level biology, A-level sociology, sometimes even with A-level psychology. So there are a number of BTECs that operate as the equivalency of one A-level that students will combine with their other subjects. So as long as your programme is made up of 3 subjects, it can be a variety. So you may choose to do a pure A-level programme, you may choose to do a pure BTEC programme, but equally you might choose to do some mixing and matching. And that may very well depend on your grade profile, it may very well depend on your subject choices and your interests.
Thank you. Is the Aspire programme available just at Strode's, or is it also at Windsor?
This year at the moment it is available at Strode's. We are hoping to introduce it at Windsor from September of next year, so September 21. And I would say that we have already got a small group of students, so we have students both from Strode and Windsor who have been sitting the entrance exams for Oxford and Cambridge, so we will be doing those, and they are receiving the same level of support.
Thank you. What about applying? Can people start applying now, and is there a deadline?
Oh, absolutely, yes, please apply as soon as you possibly can. It helps us process your application and get you as quickly as you can for an interview. We do understand that students may change their mind about their subject choices, but as I explained earlier, there are a number of opportunities over time that they come in to make some changes to those decisions. So I would say get your application in as soon as possible. We don't have a definitive deadline, but obviously we will continue to review and to look at those applications as they come in, and we will always look at class sizes as well. So the advice is always to put your application in as soon as you possibly can to ensure that you get your first choices with your courses.
Somebody's interested in finding out about what's involved in the interview process, and I know Daljit goes into some detail in his presentation, but useful for this audience.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. So students are asked to, when their application, if you can, is to upload your predicted grades. That's always really useful for your interviewer. So it is a select group. We are a trained group of the senior staff who interview all the students. That interview conversation asks lots of questions about what students want to go on to do, what courses they're interested in, how things are progressing at school, where they think they are in terms of achievement, what they're hoping to achieve at the end in their actual results. From that, we then put together their course, their study programme. So the 3 courses that are going to make their courses when they join us in September of next year. We will explain to students the entry criteria for those courses so that students are clear about the specific entry requirements for each particular course, and then following on from that will be an email from admissions who will confirm the courses that they've been offered and asking them to accept their place. Students have an opportunity to come back and say, actually, I've changed my mind about the courses that I'm interested in, and that will always then feed through either to myself or to Executive Director, Karen Griffiths, who's here with us this evening as well, look at those requests for course changes. Does that help to explain, Pierre, or would you like a little bit more?
No, that's fantastic. And also somebody was just saying they're not able to join that meeting next. They're going to a parents update, but we will be recording all of our presentations today and sending them out in an email to everybody that's registered. Somebody's asking about bringing your own device to college. Can you bring your own equipment?
Absolutely, yes, you may bring your own devices. So students regularly bring their own devices in, and actually in our current circumstances, now more than ever, we have more students coming on site and bringing their own devices with them. Students are able to access the Wi-Fi through the student link, and obviously we do utilise a lot of online learning platforms and software packages. So whether it is Adobe, whether it is Caboodle, it's Google Classroom, there's an awful lot out there that is used. So yes, students are able to bring their own device in.
Somebody else was asking about sports teams.
Yes, again, I'm immensely proud of the successes of Strode sports teams. We've been a little bit curtailed, but normally we have at least one who's been sort of a national winner or a championship winner. So absolutely, yes, very proud of our sport teams. We have main sports teams for rugby, boys and girls football, netball, but there is an opportunity for all students to excel and actually to engage with sports. We have a gym on site that students have access to, and as I said earlier on, we're also really proud of the fact that we have a PASS accreditation scheme with St Mary's College. So really proud of that. That's work in collaboration with them. We've designated a staff here at Little Louise Meadows who works with our young sportsmen and women who are actually operating at a professional level. I'm hoping that Karen might be able to confirm it. I think we've currently got, somewhere in the region of a dozen students out there who are on the TASS scheme. Lots of benefits, lots of support and coaching, but it allows students who are working at that very high level in their own sport, so whether they're a golfer, a swimmer, a gymnast, ice skater, a boxer. We've had all of them. There is support there to allow them to continue to train at that very high level, but also maintain their academic studies.
Thank you. And what about a typical week? What does a typical study week look like?
A little bit difficult to say a typical one because it will be different for every single student. So the college day runs from 8:45 till 4 p.m. except on Monday, where we don't start the day until 10:30. So students get a slightly later start because we have a staff meeting first thing on a Monday morning. Students will have 3 lessons per week for each of their subjects, so that gives them their 4.5 hours, plus their tutorial, plus the independent study and the extra activities they may undertake. Some of that may be guided study sessions or support sessions with subject areas. It might be a study support session with our study support team. It might be involved in one of our various enrichment activities, or training and participating in one of our sport teams, rehearsing for performance. So for most students, it is not an 8:45 till 4 p.m. day, but they can assume they will be in for the vast majority of the week.
Thank you. Obviously disappointing that we're not able to invite people on site. People are asking, is there a way of seeing the inside of the college?
So on the website, there is a virtual tour that you can take, and I think Fiona will be able to post the links to that at the end of this presentation. Is that correct?
Yes, I'll post links to all the videos, and I'm assuming that if the situation changes next year, we'll obviously go to open days as usual.
Absolutely. We're really hoping that our next open evening is in February, and we are really hoping, keeping everything crossed, that we will be able to have open doors and welcome students, parents back into the building. We're desperately disappointed and sad that we haven't been able to do that on this occasion, but in order to keep everybody safe, so visiting parents and students as well as our own students and staff, we've taken the very sound decision that we think this is the best way in which to host an open evening. So please do keep an eye on our website. Please do keep an eye on what's going on, and hopefully we will be able to open our doors to you in February, and you will be able to come and visit us then.
Thank you, Amanda. If people don't get the required grades, say particularly in things like maths and English, can they study those alongside their programme?
Yes, depending on what it is and depending on the other courses that they opted to do. So we would always say that we will look at each individual student and we will look at their individual grades and their results in order to find a programme that suits them and enables them to progress on. That may very well be that they're doing a level 2 course if they haven't achieved not achieved both English and maths. That's likely to be a level 2 programme for a year, but was a foundation year to enable them to progress on to a level 3 course. But we will always endeavour to find a programme study for every single student.
Thank you. Bit of a practical question, but is there parking at the college for students?
Yes, there is. There is a car park at the back of the student buildings. A little bit difficult to explain what it is, but yes, there is. It is limited parking, and we would ask students to consider whether or not that's the best way for them to travel from an ecological point of view, as well as the pure practicalities of parking on site. But yes, we do have a dedicated student car park.
Thanks. Number of students at the college?
Just over 1,000. And I think that's one of the things that makes us a very special sixth form college. We're not the largest provider, but we are a substantial sixth form college. We are therefore able to very much know every single one of our students, and I truly believe that that is one of our unique qualities, and it's what has helped us to be so successful, because we are able to know each of our students and to know them as individuals.
Thank you. Another question around the extracurricular stuff. What about the kind of clubs and societies? I think Karen mentioned some aspects of that, but I know there's lots going on.
There's a huge amount going on. Some of it has had to be slightly adapted to the world that we find. So whether your passion is to be part of the team who look after the eco garden and the kind of green aspect of the college, whether you actually think you are more suited to debating society or performing with the dance club or performance, music jamming sessions, sport teams, participating in the gym. Hopefully there is something here for everybody. I have been really impressed at the students' imagination and creativity in things they've been managing to keep going online. So we've had a book club, we've got an online choir that is taking place. I think I'm quite interested to sort of sit and listen to see what happens with that one. We've had self-defence classes, we've had a variety of visiting speakers come in, so hopefully there is something there for everybody.
Thank you. Back to numbers again. Somebody's just asking about average class sizes.
Okay, so again, depending on subject, it varies between 14 and 20. So it varies on the class size, depending on subject. So yeah, 14 to 20.
Which are good class sizes, aren't they? Small enough to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, it's about that ability to have high quality teaching and learning, but also to ensure that there is that individual support for students. So it's the balance between the two.
Thank you. Somebody's asking about a girls' football team.
Yes, there is. They've been hugely successful. So if you are a girls' female football player, please come and join our football team to keep us at the very top of the league. Yes, they've been hugely successful.
Is there a deadline to apply by or accept your offer by?
In terms of applications, it is open applications at the moment. In terms of accepting your offer, I'm afraid, Fiona, I don't know the answer to that one. I think that would be one Belgics, but we can take that and confirm that. My advice would be to accept your offer as soon as possible. It guarantees you get the first course choice that you're looking for.
Thank you. Question about independent study. How much independent study are you expected to do each week?
So we would say that for every hour that you are studying in class, you should be doing the same outside of class. Post-16 study is really tough. And part of it is about that reinforcement of learning. And I said it's that bridge between school and GCSE and going out in the wider world. So whether that is university, further studies somewhere else, trainee scheme, it's about developing those independent learning skills. So if you think that you will roughly be doing somewhere between 14 and 15 hours in the classroom, you're roughly doing the same again in independent study. Much of that will be guided in that you will be set what to do, but some of that will be very much independent. So it will be research, it will be reinforcing and going back over the learning you've undertaken in class. It will be refining notes, it will be revision, and it's never to start revising and to consolidating the learning that you've undertaken and that you've done. Thank you.
We have a lot of interest in sport from our audience today, which is great as we're a specialist sport college. Somebody's asking about trampolining. Do we have facilities for this?
We do have facilities, yes, we do. We do have a trampoline, a very big trampoline. But yes, there are facilities for that.
Thank you. I'm just scrolling through. I would just say to everybody, this session will be coming to an end shortly. So if you have any final questions, please post them now. Somebody's asking about predicted grades. I don't get them until December. Is it still okay to apply?
Absolutely, yes. Please don't worry. It varies. We do realise it varies from school to school. If you do have them, then please add them into your application form. If you don't have them, please have them handy if in fact your interview happens after you've received them. If your interview happens beforehand, then please don't worry. What we will talk to you about is the last report that you've had. So my advice would be that if you haven't yet got your predicted grades, if you can have to hand the last report you've got, so you can talk to your interviewer about how things are progressing. So what sorts of grades are you working at the moment, and what do you think you're likely to achieve in the summer? As we progress through the year, depending on the school you're at, you will of course get your mock exam results. So I know many schools have their mock exam results, their first set of mocks, perhaps I should say, before Christmas, and then we'll often do a second set of mocks in sort of February, March time. But there are schools who don't sit their mocks until January. So we are very, very aware of that, and we're very flexible and adaptable. So please don't worry about that.
Thanks, Amanda. A very important question. What food do we offer on campus?
Okay, so there is an online canteen. It's a whole range of sandwiches and hot food, jacket potatoes. I'm trying now to think. There is a breakfast provision as well there, so a whole variety of food. And of course, under normal circumstances, we are positioned very closely to Egham High Street, which has got a huge variety of delight out there for you. So whether your passion is for Subway, Tesco's meal deal, I believe very popular, or Costa Coffee, or the chicken shack that's out there, there is something there for everybody.
Thank you. Just having a look at these final questions, I think it might just be worth repeating the BTEC A-level equivalents. Perhaps I think you've explained this by the levels.
No, absolutely. So BTEC level 3s divide into 3 categories. So there's what's called the extended certificate, which is the equivalency of 1 A-level. There is then what's the national diploma, which is the equivalency of 2 A-levels. And there is the extended diploma, which is the equivalency of 3 A-levels. And those are the 3 main BTEC qualifications that we offer here. We actually only offer 1 extended diploma at Strode, which is in sport, but we offer a number of diplomas and we offer a number of extended certificates as well. If you're unsure, please do contact admissions for further advice on that.
Great, thank you. Last question is around, do we have a gym? And I think you did mention that,
Yeah.
but it's worth providing a bit more info on that and our sports fields, etc.
Yes, we've got huge sports facilities. So we've got a bespoke gym that students have access to. We also run the fitness instructor qualification, which goes alongside our sports qualifications. We obviously have huge facilities in terms of our fields and extra sporting facilities outside. There are lots of resources in place to support sports. Yeah, a real strength here at the college.
Thanks, Amanda. I'm just doing a quick scan to see if we've got any more questions that have come through. Somebody's just asking about how can I talk to individual teachers. Just to repeat that if you go onto the college website, there is a little blue circle, and if you click on the blue circle, you can ask a question and our teachers are on hand to speak to you there. I think we've just posted a link to that, so take a look. I've also just posted a link to the How to Apply session, which starts at 5:45. So please feel free to join us once you've maybe run off and made a cup of tea. I think that seems to be the end of the session, Amanda. We've got lots of questions that I think you've already answered, and Karen has been answering lots in the live chat, which we've been publishing. So hopefully you will be able to see that. We will send a recording of this back out to you with a summary of all the questions and answers today. So hopefully we will have been able to cover the most important areas. One final thing is that our heads of school have also put together a careers video talking not just about the programs, but actually more what careers they take you to and what are good subject combinations. And we will post, that's on our website at the moment on the virtual events page, but we'll also post a link to that in the chat box. Okay, I think that's the end of the session today. So thank you very much, Amanda.
Thank you.